All right, so I am recording. I am not streaming.
I've already been recording and not streaming.
Dear Lord. Beauty and the Beast, year in review. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. We haven't used this in so long.
You got to go back to the roots, right?
Thank you for joining us for Beardy and the Beast, year in review. Live Beard or Beast Hard. A discussion into the last year of Beardy and the Beast. As always, if you enjoy what we do, please like and subscribe, or check out beardyandthebeast.com for a full list of services we're available on. My name is Drew, and as always, he was written as a Mary Sue. Devon?
True, everyone does like me, and the universe bends its will around what I want.
Can confirm. So out of nowhere, I didn't realize until I was getting my questions together for this year in review that this will be the 4th year in review.
Wow.
4 years of Beardy and the Beast.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, just so weird to think of actually being fairly consistent about a hobby for so long.
Even if we have videos that were recorded 2 years ago that we haven't released yet.
Never happened.
Sure, if you release it in the next 5 days, which would be before this podcast comes out.
What is it? Which one is
No,
it?
no. I was looking at Ghost of Mars, but I mean, I guess technically we've got Sin City, which was February 9th, so
Ooh.
2023.
I think those were pretty good recordings too.
I think so too.
I
I think
remember
it's just
the discussions of those were pretty good.
yeah.
I mean, we've definitely learned a lot and grew a lot over the last 4 years of recording.
Yeah.
Editing videos, even for the Media Club, which has some more strict editing kind of guidelines, is far easier than it used to be.
Yeah.
Not because of more lax standards, but we have a whole lot more filler words. We're not constantly breathing into the mic full force.
It's ASMR.
I hate ASMR so much.
Oh, we both got better mics now as well.
Yeah, that was really funny because I've wanted to get our equipment upgraded for a long time.
Yeah.
And you just happen to be able to adopt a mic from your other project.
Yeah.
And when I was last out there, we did a recording and just hearing the quality difference between being on two really decent mics and the soundboard compared to the mics that we're using the other time.
Yeah.
Just inspired me. And then eventually I think as soon as I got home, I put it on the docket. And then after I started actually we're a couple months ahead in recordings.
Yeah.
So as soon as I started recording stuff where it was your nice mic and my old not so nice mic, I was like, okay, I need to turn around and get an upgrade here.
Yeah. And that's definitely been nice, and I'll actually be able to repurpose my sound equipment and then even do some cooler things with it. But just because my other project is basically ending, but I don't want to mess with the settings on this here completely yet because I want to just be able to plug and play it back over for the other one, right?
We gotta figure out if there's profiles.
Yeah.
Because if you can switch between profiles, that'd make things so much easier.
Yeah. Well, that's why partially when we set it up, it's I specifically put you in channel 3 or 4 because I knew that wasn't going to mess with any of the other settings.
Yeah, I'm definitely a quiet talker.
Yeah. It is nice to see the difference in the audio. I mean, it's even the same because way back what I was just using the headset mic. which is pretty good. And it's like, you upgrade to the Yeti and then upgrade to the Audio Technica stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a remarkable improvement uh, between the recent Squid Game releases, which were both on our upgraded equipment, and the That Be Hey that just came out. That's an older recording, but we really wanted to get it out there, and like I can hear how poor the quality of my mic was in comparison.
Yeah,
So,
it was a really good podcast. Listen to it.
yeah, I really enjoyed that cast.
It gets it gets quite personal.
It's really good. Speaking of, over the course of this is a question. Like I have a series of questions that I've been asking like every year, and I've kind of
Yeah.
pared them down a bit. But I'd like to know, over the casts that were released over the last year, which were your favorite or favorite?
Over the last year, I mean, as a series, I think Your Lie in April was an amazing series.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm torn between the only binge episode that we've done for the second wall, Arcane season 1, and Eyes Wide Shut. I actually really enjoyed that conversation, and it got us our first hate comment.
Yay!
But I think both of those were really good discussions. I think, especially with something like Eyes Wide Shut, where, despite what people say, Kubrick is not my director, but being able to put that aside and actually still have a discussion about the filmography and the story, I think is always good.
My thing is like 2/3 of the way, all that attention to the micro details in filming completely
Yeah.
went out the window. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like there was that much attention to it.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in how we feel about Kubrick and that cast, check it out. Eyes Wide Shut. I believe it
Sweet.
was it was our Christmas episode. Even though my clickbait doesn't actually say that it was Christmas episode. Interesting.
It was, in fact, our Christmas special.
Uh,
We don't have our Christmas hats on either. Just noticed that. Oh, no Christmas sweaters.
oh, it's oh yeah, to explain that, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but it was after the last Christmas episode where I said I'm going to stop doing that for the Christmas ones because it's like stealing identity from Spooktober.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally remembered. Totally.
The biggest thing I missed was there. I've been putting a little Christmas hat on the Beardy.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm gonna give a special shout out to Your Lie in April. I don't think I've ever been so turned around in an anime in a positive direction. It's like it's pretty much the opposite of what I experienced watching Evangelion. Just progressively getting more disappointed in what was going on. And Your Lie in April just like it easily became top 3.
Oh yeah.
As far as actual cast, I think I'm feeling Almost Famous. Like there was some good introspective moments, some vulnerable moments from you, and overall we had different takes, but we were kind of like in parallel. So it just came off. It was closer to the height of what I want from Media Club.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that we're agreeing, but that the conversation's actually interesting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I always have to say, and I'm sure you're with me on this one, is Strange Wilderness with Ashley Good. Not because the movie was good by any means, but having a podcast with Ashley is always just a blast.
I like the fact I think one of my favorite things from that cast in particular was like her realizing, like, wait, am I the baddie? Have I been making people watch just this terrible movie thinking it was the greatest thing?
The answer is yes. You are the
Yep.
baddie, Ashley.
Yes. Oh.
So kind of looking at that then, um, not necessarily the cast, but the media that we took in over the last year. Was there any that you found good or exceptional that or may have surprised you?
Just in general?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we kind of did touch it on our cast. I am surprised how much fun we got out of Blue Lock.
Oh, sorry. I mean, is there anything we've recorded media?
Oh, that we've recorded. Well, I mean, we recorded Blue Lock.
That's true.
Oh.
And if you want to see that, you should check out the whole series, but our take on Squid Game season 2, or the third episode titled Squid Game season 2, episode 5 to 7 in recap. Honestly, we'd rather talk about Blue Lock.
Yeah, we would.
We had a great conversation about Blue Lock.
Didn't we though? I'm trying to think about which media we've covered. Our recordings changed a little bit this year, and I'm sure people have noticed that.
Yeah.
So anything that surprised me,
or that you just found good. Like, we did revisit a few things.
I don't think anything surprised me is like surprisingly better than I thought. I think we actually we had good choices with what we did record this year. The only one that I didn't like, The Faculty, was one of those ones I swore I saw the movie, but after watching it, much like Drew, I'm not sure if I did. Or it's like I've seen parts of it and didn't fully connect it together.
Much like Drew, I thought it was Vanilla Sky the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like there was a couple of movies that surprisingly let me down more than was better than expected.
Oh, for sure. Arcane, the second season, could have just been plainly better.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was nearly as well written. I surprisingly remember Fly Away Home just being better.
Yeah.
Granted, I was very young.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, if you want to hear the hopes and dreams of a man die, listen to Squid Game season 2 episode.
Oh yeah.
In positive though, my positive one, again, Your Lie in April. I went into it. It was kind of, I don't know how you sold it to me. I probably didn't care. I was just like, Devon's got okay taste. And then
I remember how I sold it to you. Well, we talked about it enough when we were doing Carol and Tuesday, so we're watching it.
And then I was like, oh, I mean, it is your baby. Let's do it.
Yeah. I think this is a reason why I don't have ones that surprise me in a good way. So a little bit behind the scenes. We kind of have a pattern for how we watch movies when we're doing in the media club.
Mm-hmm.
So normally it's something we've both seen, something one of us has seen, something the other one has seen, and something neither of us have seen. And then Chibli,
yeah,
Chibli Chizu. But we've kind of had that shift. Outside of The Strange Wilderness and Spooktober, like I'd seen all of these movies, like almost everything on here.
Yeah, I guess.
was something I'd seen. So that's where I think. So obviously, nothing's gonna super jump out at me.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like the big change that we did over this last year. I don't know. People might have noticed, but we're kind of going more away from movie content and to moving on to series content. Part of that was like me just straight up saying, like, I am not enjoying these conversations nearly as much as I'm enjoying the conversations on the second wall. I'd just rather be doing second wall.
Yeah.
I find the second wall is just far more engaging from a listening standpoint, from a recording standpoint. I think the content's better. The editing style's more natural and raw.
And to quote Drew on half the movies, should have been a series.
Pretty much anything I don't like should have been a series.
I mean, that's not to say we're going to be getting rid of the movie content. It's going to be shifted. Like we've still got like half a dozen or so movies at least recorded.
Yeah. I imagine it'll end up being like seasonal stuffs. So our summer festival, Spooktober, Christmas, and then something I've been playing around with, like From the Vault.
Yeah.
And From the Vault will just be like stuff that hasn't seen the light of day that probably should have.
2 years ago. And I can't wait till like we got that feedback for us on Kubrick.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get the feedback of both of us just trashing on Tarantino.
Okay, here's the thing. From a cinematography standpoint, I don't mind Tarantino.
Yeah.
It's the projects he chooses, but I do really like how his characters are actually characters.
Mm.
Like, they don't feel like demographics. They seem to have their own motivations, no matter how bad the plot is.
Yeah.
Like, there are strong points in Tarantino, but it's kind of like Kubrick. It's just not for me.
Yeah. And I agree with that. Like, his characters, he writes almost in a similar way to, like, what you see with earlier Kevin Smith and Joss Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you can tell these are people, they are just having conversations. But yeah, there's just, I don't know, something about Tarantino, not for me. And just the fact that, like, both of us in one scene are like, yep, neither of us like that scene. Guess who directed that scene?
A third of the podcast is pooping on a single director that it was just like the 45 seconds, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was just that scene.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I'm sure that'll come out eventually.
Yeah. We'll probably the other media club ones that we'll probably try to keep a bit in the rotation is the Ghibli Shizu ones, because those ones have always had good conversations as well.
Yeah, I figured those will be kind of the ones that are littered in, along with like actual going out to a movie and doing something fresh.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like another Resident Evil was released.
There was one of the animated ones.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we should be getting Silent Hill soonish. I'm not sure if there's actually a release date for that.
Oh, I have concerns.
It's game still. No, it's not going to be Revelations. It's Gaines coming back, putting people in flesh-colored bodysuits and making them dance backward.
That's
what they're telling us.
I think it's going to be a great conversation, because even out of Silent Hill 2, even though we both like enjoyed half of it but didn't enjoy the other half, kind of thing, we still had a great conversation out of it. So I think we'll get something really good out of the next one, especially given the fact that the original director is coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked for that, because the thing that the first one excelled at was atmosphere.
Yeah.
Even though like that cast is like 2 and some hours long, it's unedited. It was our first one. And I remember
Yeah.
that, like, because we were having a conversation and we were like, we had lots of plans and lots of what ifs. And then eventually I just sat down. I was like, we need to just do the thing. We just need to
Yeah.
start. Like, we're talking too much about logistics. We're going to burn out on logistics and not actually do it because we feel like we accomplished something by planning.
Yeah.
And that's
Truth.
did I ever tell you I tried to go back in and create an edited version of that?
No, you did not.
But it was so long, and our the way that we speak and our fillers and everything, just like, it was so fiddly, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, nope, that's fair.
I got like 20 minutes into it. I'm like, this is gonna take 6 hours. I'm not paid for this. But I mean, if you want a great raw conversation, 100%, it's gonna be Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Man, it's been so long. Like, Dread, Little Hours, putting you on the as the face on the donkey because you were being an ass.
Oh,
You know, kind of discussing that. This is one of my favorite segments of the year review. The clickbait.
the clickbait.
I feel this year like I had some bangers, and then I had some like just poor ones where I couldn't get like the filter right on it so it looked like it was part of the scene.
Yeah.
A good example of that is Eyes Wide Shut. Looks like the characters are wearing our faces as masks.
I mean, it's thematic.
Oh, I could have done that. I could have made like creepy masks like the orgy scene or whatever, and then like just made it into our faces.
Mm-hmm.
do you have any specific ones that you really liked?
So I think this is always like the animated ones are always just so good. The way you do the filters. I mean, of course, Your Lie in April.
Oof, that's my
I
favorite
think
one.
it is just top tier. I think a Goofy movie, I think, is a good follow up.
Mm-hmm.
And that, and just getting that the way the animation there, it works really well. I think.
There's not that many this year.
Yeah, there's not that many.
Most of them were kind of a letdown. I did really like the job I did on Strange Wilderness, specifically on you.
Yeah.
It actually, like, except for the fact that I didn't make you pale enough,
Yeah.
that actually looks like that you could be standing there.
Yeah. Like with the paleness too, it actually isn't quite that noticeable because the guy's hand is so far away from the face.
And it's blurry because it's moving.
Yeah. I kind of like the flyaway home. I know even though I'm the one called the animal in almost all of these things, like in your intros, but you've always made you you the sidekick animal one. And I don't know, I think it's adorable, but at the same time it's like
kind of looks like a penis.
Just a little bit.
That was so funny. I was laughing so hard as I edited myself onto the goose.
Yeah.
I think I luck out on the real ones sometimes. Like sometimes they're almost perfect.
Yeah.
I think I excel at the animated ones because they're just far easier to filter.
Yeah.
But the ones where I am an animal, where I take my real face, like Nazca was a great one, where I was the flying squirrel fox thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like my face edited onto that. Like, it's disturbing when you zoom into just it.
It really is.
I think my favorite face that you made in any of these is probably the Almost Famous one where you're pouting. You're just like, she doesn't like me, but I like her.
I do have a pouty. Let's see. What? Oh,
I have a hard time
I got
doing
some good side
Ashley.
eyes and my eyes shut too.
Sorry?
I got some good side eye and eyes wide shut too, I think.
You do look like you're kind of like you got that dashing look.
Yeah. Oh.
I have
Yeah,
trouble.
Ashley's
Yeah, I
so
have trouble
funny.
with doing Ashley. Uh, I don't know. Maybe she's got a weird head. I don't know if she'll
Maybe.
ever listen to this, but
Oh.
that was. You know what? For as poor of like as poor as our review of Strange Wilderness was, the conversation with Ashley was still quite entertaining.
Oh. The conversations with Ashley are always.
It's true. She's she either has no idea what to do with us or like she think it's hilarious.
I also just really enjoy the game. Who's gonna throw us off the rails? And I'm sorry, Drew. Have fun editing.
Jerk. Okay, here's a text she sent me when she was editing the last time we visited her podcast. And I quote, editing the podcast. Drew, you should have eaten your baby. Drew 5 seconds later. I'm a good guy and deserve smooches. LMFAO.
I can't remember if I said it on her podcast or our podcast. And I was like, so babies bounce, you know. That's
Think it was hers. But I mean, that was years ago.
yeah, it was still funny.
Yeah, shout out to Ashley and her Rekindled podcast. Check out her House of Fog magazine. Links in the thing.
Yeah, we should totally do something else for that again. We have plans that we've just never done.
Well, I did an interview with her and we talked about social media and how it's destroying everything. There was an article. It's quite a good one. It was a good conversation. The yeah, I guess kind of like with that kind of talking about the future. We've been kind of like playing around with what our summer's going to look like this year. I have a few ideas. I'm kind of like in my summer of sleigh.
That I do like that idea.
It's just it's hard to be cohesive about it. And I kind of just want to do the B movie Slay that has a bunch of drag queens. I think they're fighting zombies or vampires or something. Because I think it's going to be terrible in the best way.
Oh yeah, there's no way it's not going to be terrible.
I think I'm going to have a blast watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm just trying to think what other. I mean, the other one that we had in the background for spiritual sequels. We've got a list of things for that. But I do kind of.
You kind of do want to watch drag queens fighting zombies?
I mean, I think that'll be entertaining. I also like just with what you've suggested to me, having pseudo second wall, so that's part of it too.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's a neat little crossover.
I wouldn't mind. I guess the one in thoughts. I'm not worried about saying it because, like, whatever. It sounds like they're not doing another season of Demon Slayer. They're releasing the Infinity Castle arc as movies, and I was thinking about like doing that as part of the Summer of Slay. I mean, with that, I wouldn't mind watching the entire like Demon Slayer series and then doing like a single cast like we did for Arcane season 1.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic cast. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the only way that that one could have been better is if we like neither of us had seen it and we were watching it, you know, 1 or 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
But
that might be an interesting one. Do a bit of a binge. Because I think
cut out
I,
there.
oh, good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to do binges of each season as an episode of
Okay.
Demon Slayer. Because I think it's too much to put into one episode,
Mhm.
but to binge watch one season and discuss it. That's one of the things that's interesting with that change. I mean, I know generally we don't go binge, but there's sometimes exceptions.
I guess when we binge, we generally kind of release it as I guess we do. Yeah, never mind. Because Arcane came out, season 1 came out as a second wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we usually like kind of frown upon the binges, but you know, that's okay. Like if you want to binge, you can binge. There's some series that are far better when you binge them. Like for instance, I would say Stranger Things.
Yep.
Like episode by episode, I don't really think Stranger Things is a great conversation. But like 2 or 3 episodes with like the mini arc.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic viewing. I mean, I've only watched 2 or 3 seasons or whatever. I'm definitely not current.
I don't know. I think you're only missing one season.
I have no interest in that at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I'm not interested in coming up,
Is it Squid Game?
it's Squid Game finger quotations season 3.
Oh, oh, right.
I don't
So,
wanna.
no, okay. I wanna because I am looking forward to binging it and just getting plastered.
Well, I
Because
guess
that's how we plan on recording it.
just binging it and then drinking and just tearing it apart.
Oh God. So I know I've ranted to you about this offline already,
Mm-hmm.
but right. I think Netflix doesn't understand what the term season means anymore. Oh, E-Stars, the final season came out around the same time as Squid Game season 2.
Yeah.
And they called it the final season. It was a 13 episode arc.
Yeah.
That very clearly was the end of a season, but not in the end of the show. And it's going to be like another year and a half before the second part of the final season comes out. That's just a season of anime. Like, why? Why put this? And then you get Squid Game. Like, when I saw Squid Game 3 showing up on Netflix for like June 27th, I'm like, oh, so what you're saying is if you released this instead of all just releasing it at once and release it out, you know, the 7 episodes over the course of 2 months, you would have like a mid-season break and then go back into season 2. What the like I don't get it. And like I mean, I don't think it would have fixed our opinion of it, but it was so clear that it was half a season and not a full season. And to change it to season 3.
There is so much that's wrong with Squid Game season 2. I can't even.
Oh.
It hurts me physically. You know what I think it is? I think it's seasons in a budgetary standpoint. They're going, each year we're willing to dedicate X amount of money, and then we'll call that a season.
Maybe. I guess.
I mean,
Oh.
I don't.
It's clearly bad marketing. That That's all that's saying to me.
It's I mean, you can tell it's not being well received when it's like us and maybe like four other creators actually talking about it.
Yeah.
Like in the
Well,
K-pop realm, when the first season came out, there was all the like Instagram posts of the like K-pop artists doing like Squid Game adjacent things.
yeah.
This time it was just like, oh, it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, I mean, like, again, I think it's a show that got more hype than it deserved. Like, even season 1 got more hype than it deserved, but I understand it. Like, I understand where the hype came from. But again, we've had that discussion.
Yeah,
There were
it was a
lots.
great conversation in
Yeah.
Squid Game season 1.
Yeah. Squid Game season 2 just did nothing, and then it. So I've had this conversation, and I don't remember if we actually had this conversation the podcast before. These movies that they're calling like a full movie or full season, and it's a very clearly not. And like I try to have these discussions with people, and they like, oh, it was a full movie. I am sorry. The second animated Spider-Man would Enter the Spiderverse or whatever it was not a movie.
No, it was half
It
a
did
movie.
not end. It was half a movie. It didn't end. like, oh, but that's how they end sometimes. I'm like, no. You watch Empire Strikes Back, it ends. The entire storyline is completed. Right? Yes, there's questions. Yes, they're going to go, oh, what's going to happen next? But it's clearly ended. As the prime example, I mean, even Arcane season 1, it ends on, oh, there's some questions.
Yeah.
But clearly everything in the season was done. And Squid Game season 2 was exactly that. Like, it's like, no, you did not end. There's nothing here for me to give. And
The difference there is the second Miles Morales Spider-Man movie was actually good, even though it didn't end.
yes,
Squid Game season 2 was not good, even when it ends.
Yeah. No, that's just more a comment on like, I don't understand this trend.
Yeah.
And that's why I pointed out Beastars, the final season, because it was very clearly a season that just ended on a down note. Oh, Avengers Endgame was the other one I was thinking of. Or Infinity War was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah, everybody gets dusted, and then you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but the movie clearly ended. They just didn't win.
Yeah. You know what I think it is the just a quick analysis of like Into the Spiderverse or whatever. It also feels that way in that movie because there's no solid climax.
Yeah.
Like the chase, though fun, is like a third of the way through the movie feeling kind of event.
Yeah, exactly.
It is not a climax event from the story. Like the end moment where he meets his doppelganger as the Prowler. Spoiler alert, I guess, for a movie that came out like 12 years ago. That felt like more of a climax than what we got.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly, that's where that feeling changes. Like, you need to have things resolved in the movies, and everything in these ones here, it's like, yeah, it feels like the first act and a half.
I need to check something.
You would.
Oh, wow. Screwing the pooch on it. Like, I know Spider-Man is eternally a moneymaker.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, people, including myself, really like the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Like, Miles Morales feels like a real person that you could meet.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too quippy, but he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man
It's
be
almost
quippy.
like that's what Spider-Man does.
Yeah. But apparently Beyond the Spider-Verse is slated to release 2026 at the earliest.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I know that they like the animation style is very taxing on the animators. So they got it extended. There was the SAG-AFTRA strike, which is hilarious because it ended up being like a union fighting for the haves and not the haves, not have-nots.
That never happens.
But yeah, like pushing it that far I mean, I'll be stoked and I'll go see it in theaters.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, we'll make a weekend of it. We'll do a Spidey weekend.
yeah, that'd be fun. Uh, yeah, it's. I mean, I think that's. Yeah, I I can't crap on the movie. It's like I just remember it's like one of my friends goes like, "Oh, what's the best? What ranking the best Spider-Man movie?" And I'm like, I didn't even rank the second one because like there's not a movie there.
It's half a movie.
Everyone's like, it's like top two. It's like, sure, I will gladly rank that when I see the other half a movie.
I think the first Miles Morales movie is definitely top three.
Oh
Really
yeah,
like the Tom Holland.
yeah.
The original Toby one was fine.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't really like the Spidey sequels, except for the half a movie that we got that was Into the Spiderverse.
Accurate. Although we've gone on about Spider-Man and he's not
Spoon
ending.
Man. I love Spoon Man. So I like to ask this every year just because I'm interested. Uh, what what kind of music have you been listening to recently?
Oh, what? So I've been in a interesting spot. So I've actually gone back to like the Near Automata soundtrack a lot. Um, it, I've been using it a lot to help me focus. Um, I've also kind of like went on like a musical, like not necessarily musical soundtracks, but like singers that are heavily inspired, that are definitely theater kids and put a musical bent on things or cover musicals.
But you know what was funny
So
about that? Because you were starting that, and
yeah,
then I showed you, like, you were at the beginning of that, and I was like, "Have you heard the song Into the Water?"
yeah,
Into the water.
you know what? Oh, so good.
And then you're like,
Um,
"Dear God, I need to listen to this." And then you found out it was historically based music project from a bunch of creators that like did a story of Ulysses.
it's the Odyssey.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
they're making musical the Odyssey. Yeah,
yeah. Uh, and like you sent me a few of those tracks. Like you were kind of starting it, and then I just like encouraged it along.
yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot of Anna Pantsu. Epic the musical been absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. I recently watched the Heathers musical, which I quite enjoyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was I quite enjoyed it. Then I went and watched Heathers again. Um,
Overrated.
it's yeah, but it's
It's a Gen X thing. It's Gen X's flipping. What's that movie I love?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Yeah, the Heather's is just Gen X Mean Girls.
Yeah. Um, and then I saw Beetlejuice the musical, but um, don't recommend it. Uh, the first half of it was not good.
Weren't you like super
Uh,
excited about it? Because
I
I
was.
remember it's like, oh yeah, my family's getting together. My mom's gonna be there. Hey, like, you gonna be out for this time? It's like, no, sorry, I can't. Dang it. Well, you
Yeah,
could have came. And then it turned out to be like, eh.
yeah, and like I was like, okay, maybe it's just me, and just wasn't there. It's like everyone that I know that who hadn't saw it's all the same things. Like the first half just was terrible. Uh, the person they had playing Lydia, we liked, but like the second half became a lot better. But it clearly took inspiration from the cartoon,
Oh, okay.
which I liked.
Hmm.
But it was, yeah,
That's a shame.
it was okay. Yeah, it is what it is.
It
Um,
was funny the other day because you were like, I can't be distracted. Like I'm in a headspace. Do you got some music for me that I can listen to? And I'm like, bro, I when I'm like that, I just go on to my music portal and put in lo-fi.
yeah, yeah. I put in some lo-fi 8-bit video game music. I know
So
you were always good with that music. I mean, we talked about that in our in our top songs one
It's
as well. Like,
just part of having like a large breadth. Because like I there's been like a couple times where less asking you for recommendations, but like you show me something and then I kind of just follow it through. Like
yeah.
especially like female rock singers, you're like god tier knowledge. So like coming through them. Like for me, I've been all over the place. Uh, I definitely am out of my year-long streak of listening to nothing but Sleep Token. But
And I'm guessing you mean just because I'm pretty sure we're talking about that like last week.
no, I've been listening to a bunch of Electric Callboy.
Mm.
Like when you and I are gaming, like you giggle every time I start singing it. I'm like, hyper, hyper, you're pretty and I like ya.
Yeah.
the I haven't been listening to too much, but definitely there's two very specific songs that I've had constantly on repeat.
Mm.
Like constantly. If I drive out to the next town over, I've listened to the song like 5 times on the way there. And that's The Plot and Use Forgotten and Bad Omens. I always forget the title here. Bad Omens. Because I'm kind of like IV4K brained. I want to say something in the art of persuasion, but that is not the case. Give me a sec.
Well, while
The
you're looking at
the death of peace of mind.
Mm.
Specifically, the live version.
Speaking of Bad Omens, that's actually another one that's that just reminds me of someone that I ended up listening to a lot of again, and that's Poppy.
Mm.
She's got that van.
Well, Poppy's is kind
Song.
of like popping off right now. She's peaking right now.
Oh yeah, uh, the getting rid of what's his name and like shifting it, like metal-ish world
Mm-hmm.
has just done wonders for her. And like, I mean, when a metalhead's going, it's like, you know, like she is top tier in that realm. I mean, I remember even I think a couple of years ago, like I think she was actually at the Grammys for metal. Not that part gets done on TV.
Mm.
But I think she was there. Um, the two songs that I've had on repeat are both Anna Pantsu songs, and it had one of my friends, Kay. She's got a cover of, I think it's a Miku song called My R,
Mm.
which is, you know, it's a very happy, cheerful song about suicide. And then another cover that Anna Pantsu has, Achilles Come Down.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like, you know, it's like a 10-minute song about suicide. And I've just been listening to these two songs on repeat. I'm like, huh, oh, that's interesting.
Well, it's funny. We kind of covered that in our Bappy Hayes. What are your top 10 favorite songs and why?
Yeah.
Like songs that sound very positive but have very like dark lyrics, or alternatively, songs that sound very dark and actually have very positive lyrics.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's just been an interesting taste. Oh.
It's so weird. I've been kind of floating around aside from like very specific things. I've been kind of, I guess the important lead up to what I'm about to say is I play games, most games, except for like Doom specifically, with the music turned off because I like to listen to my own music.
Yeah.
But I kind of stopped listening to as much music over the last year. Like, still listening, but just far more rarely. And I haven't turned the music on my games. So I'm just playing games, no music, just raw dog in the game. Except for uh, Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I guess that kind of brings us into our next topic, which is um, like what games we've been playing over the last year
Yeah.
here. And I'll kind of go first here. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. It finally came to PC, which means I'm all over it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth finally came to PC, so I'm all over it. Remake was fantastic. So much I've been sitting here like chomping at the bit to get to the next game.
Yeah.
I said I told you that you should buy the new PlayStation and send it to me so I can play a game, and then I'll send you the game and the PlayStation is the game will be like the cost of me having the console for 2-3 weeks.
Yep. That is very much what you said.
I've been playing far less Destiny. Mind you, Destiny's kind of on the downswing. Like their main story is gone; it's done,
Yeah.
and they're like trying to revitalize it with a new kind of arc. But a lot of these games are kind of in that place right now. Like I heard Final Fantasy 14's the MMO.
Yes.
They're kind of in the same place where they wrapped up their major story, and now like players are like, well, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
And then very special shout out for me, Neva came out, which is a spiritual sequel in my mind to Gree, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And Neva is just fantastic game.
Yeah, I need to grab that, and we should do a another filler arc for that one. I think that'll be good.
Like I know you liked Gree, but I think you'll like Neva more.
All right.
I think you'll vibe more with it. Even though Box Friend is best friend.
Box Friend is best friend.
So are there any games that you've been like super into or been playing lately, aside from like a zillion hours of Slay the Spire that I got you into?
I mean, there's definitely been that. So I've kind of I've got a fairly big library going right now. But I've kind of basically I've been moving my like Xbox library onto Steam, slowly buying those games. So I've gone back and played a bunch of those. And some like Lollipop Chainsaw. I have the Xbox 360 version, and it's like one of the 3 games that's not backwards compatible. So I couldn't actually play it because I don't have a working 360. So when that came out, I enjoy it. It's exactly what it is. It's that spectacle beat 'em up in the same way that Bayonetta.
Yeah, Devil May Cry and
And it's exactly what you get. Like a lot of people, I love those types of games, and people don't believe me when I say that because it's not the types of games I normally talk about.
that's true.
Right? Because again, I'm generally more of a Android man. There was a Momodora, which I have. I went back and Lost Ruin was actually a really good one as well. It's a rough one. It's like you don't heal when you hit save points and such. So you gotta actually, manage your health, and adds a nice difficulty spike to it. And went back and played a bunch of Control. Really enjoyed that one. And Bloodstain Ritual of the Night's actually probably been one of my favorites because it had a bunch of DLC that I didn't have before.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like you can actually like there's a complete game mode where you play as Aurora, Child of Light, which is honestly fantastic RPG.
I have it. I
But
just haven't played it yet.
yeah, but it's a completely different play style because it's a completely different character. So I really enjoyed that. The only other game that I'd seen that's done something like that was like Blaster Master Zero. It had DLCs where it's like just a bunch of other indie game characters playing with kind of mechanics. So I
It's
really
like
enjoyed.
from the FPS side of things, that would be like Blood Dragon.
Mm.
Like a completely different experience, and it's just a DLC.
Yeah, they did actually set that one up as separate, didn't they, as well?
Maybe after. Maybe they
Yeah.
created it as a standalone after.
Yeah, in the same way that they did with Tiny Tina's.
Mm-hmm. Which is fantastic. Like you and I have been playing Borderlands 3 recently.
Yes, we're playing 3.
Uh, mainly because I don't think we felt like going back to 2 again, and I've never beat 3, and you hadn't played 3 in a long time. If I were to give a review right now about 3, I would say exceedingly good gunplay. Like 75-80% that of Destiny's, like high tier. The narrative is just terrible.
Oh my god, it's so trash.
The story's bad. They disrespected Maya.
Oh, it's so bad. You're not actually part of the story.
Yeah, you're
The
not.
story just happens around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to talk. Yeah, make sure to talk at the mic.
It is a good thing that the gunplay is so good in that game.
Oh, definitely.
Because I can tell you, we haven't been paying attention to the story.
It's funny, like, we spent like, what, 30, 45 minutes at one point. You were like collecting all these missions and listening to people talk in the ship. And I was just sitting there doing golden keys over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, what mission are we doing? It's like, well, we could do this, this, and this. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the characters.
It's
I'm so worried for Borderlands 4. Like,
right.
uninspiring trailer that showed nothing of substance. For a game written, at least the original Borderlands series, after Borderlands 2, written by like pseudo-intellectual millennials trying to force feed long since dead ironic humor into a series where it doesn't fit.
So it's interesting. I watched a video on this. Yeah, I can't remember. It was a while ago. But he was talking about like just the atrocious writing in Borderlands 3. And it's very clear that the A team, like the main story, has no idea, and they're just going, lol, I'm sure this is funny. YOLO. And then you have all of these like secondary writers that clearly appreciated the lore and tried to build on it. Like apparently like the audio decks that you get for like Gage
Yeah.
and such, it's just like so clearly they knew exactly what they were doing. And there's a bunch of side missions where that happened. And then I don't know who they hired for the main story.
Well, we also got to kind of understand that Borderlands 3 is definitely right in the middle of the, we need to disassemble and recreate every and all IP to be modern day.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess there's a couple of different modern day audiences that we could be talking about here.
Yeah.
Well,
I
because
mean, like, when it came out, Borderlands 3 or whatever, it's like when what's his face, the Torg guy, Torg. He had he did a thing where he said something really dumb, but instead of playing it for laughs, he went on like a rant over the intercom about toxic masculinity, and I'm like, bro, you're Torg. That's your character trait.
Yeah.
Lean into it for the funny to teach that bad.
Well, and I mean, like he didn't need to do that even, because like you think of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, very specifically, not not her Wonderland. Like, he was the fake gamer girl type stereotype.
Yeah.
And they played it up perfectly. It was the exact commentary that they are clearly trying to force in Borderlands 3. Like, they had it already. They were already saying what they wanted to.
Yeah, I guess we kind of get into that with long-standing series when ideological writers kind of take over and keep trying to push it. It's like, you've already dealt with these topics in a much more nuanced and striking manner. Why are you trying to do this again in such a poor way that feels like tokenism?
Yeah.
Every time.
I think the other big game, though, to not go down that rabbit hole too much, um, Remnant.
Yeah, we played a lot of Remnant and Remnant 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I mean, Remnant 2 is one of my favorite games.
By far. Is, I think, one of... I'm sure it is the highest playtime we have in... No, maybe the second highest. I'm not sure if Divinity.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess we did finish Divinity this last year, Divinity 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that ending of that game was so poor. When you
I like how we picked the worst ending and it was literally the only interesting one.
I was so mad about that because you, like, without saying you were gonna do it, you just did it. You like hijacked the end of the game. And it was like, fine, we have the checkpoint, we can come back. And then I was like, well, it's late, so I want to go to bed. And I realized after that the only actual interesting ending was the one that was for your character.
Yeah.
And that was just like...
And again, it's the objectively bad ending of the game.
It's so silly.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So Remnant 2 is my number 3rd most playtime in a game.
It is my most played time in Steam.
I have many hours in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
260 in Elden Ring. 230 in Remnant 2.
It shows just how much grinding you did, or like that little bit of side grinding you did in Remnant 2. Because you've got 30 more hours than I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, it wasn't all side grinding. There was...
You were trying to help someone too, right?
No, I was doing optimization of my classes and stuff. Because I kind of like... I went between a DPS build, and I was playing around with builds a lot more than you. So getting something that would work for the team, it was kind of like Divinity 2, where I went back in a couple times outside. I didn't get any levels or anything, but I did...
inventory management.
Yeah, inventory management, because I'm the only one using a keyboard and mouse. And respecking my characters. So they actually made sense. I mean, to put it in perspective, we played 130-ish hours of Divinity 2.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. It's my 7th most played game on Steam. And like Cyberpunk 2077, great game, and its DLC are edging that out.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, PUBG is in my top 5, and I don't know why. I don't remember playing 140 hours of PUBG.
I've got one game in my top 5 for playtime that I know is a lie, and it's very clearly I forgot to close the game. Because I do not have 130 hours in the Record of the Lotus Wars Wonder Labyrinth. Because that is not that long of a game. I clearly just forgot to close it.
You probably have that much time in Slay the Spire.
I have 91 hours in Slay the Spire.
I don't know how much I have on my phone, because I play on both phone and computer. I have 77 on PC and probably about the same on the phone.
No, my top games by playtime is on, and the on Steam is a very important thing because again, I
You're a console
was a
kid.
console gamer. So 190 in Remnant, 147 in Borderlands. Pretty sure that's accurate because I think I did multiple playthroughs.
You'd
Way
have to. It's
back.
only like a 20, 30-hour game.
Yeah. But I'm saying that like I don't think that was me leaving the game on.
Hmm.
Like Record of the Lotus Wars. Divinity. Again, we put a lot of time into that game. It was amazing. I liked it when we did our fights against each other. And it's like Sudoku. Yeah.
Like some of us have Fate series gotcha games on their phone. Some of
I wouldn't
us
know who has that.
play dead MMOs.
Soon, some of us will be playing other gotcha games on their phones that may or may not be Destiny related.
You know what? I'm probably gonna play it. Honestly, you know what's sad about it? Before we move on, um, you know what's really sad about it is there are aspects that they are bringing to the mobile version of Destiny that look better than the current state of Destiny. Because it's a different developer, so they're like, okay, we see your guidelines. We want to put this in it too. And the extra stuff that they're doing, like you know kind of about the classes and element stuff in Destiny.
Yeah.
But instead of just like going with the supers that they have, they're like, oh yeah, the warlock, there's a specific character who has this thing where they kind of like blink around the map and they have like a void energy scythe. That's sick.
All right. Yeah.
Void for warlocks in Destiny 2 is like you throw a big purple energy ball out.
So let's turn it into a scythe. All right. That sounds pretty cool.
There's not too many games that I'm super interested in coming out. I know there's a lot of stuff like Kingdom Come Deliverance came out, Monster Hunter Wilds, that sounds really good. I mean, Wilds is if that's a co-op game, it is not an MMO. It might be interesting to play with you. But the game that I'm interested in is Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
I think I know this one.
No, it's quite clear that it's got aspects of like Persona from the interface, but like the story seems really interesting. It's got it seems very narrative based. The game's coming out at like $60 Canadian. That's a huge thing. It's pretty dark. It's essentially a story where like there's a painter or paintress or something, and each year a number gets painted, and people of that age will die, and each year it ticks down. So this time it's Expedition 33.
Okay.
And from what I've seen of the trailers, it's like they have to go to this other land to try to stop it from occurring, to end it. But the characters feel like characters. They talk like adults.
Which is important.
Yeah, like it'll be very interesting to see how well it does.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love a Remnant 3, but I don't think that'll happen.
I think it will, but I think it's too soon for it right now. Like, I mean, the third DLC only came out in like September, October.
Aside from Boss Rush, it was kind of a crap DLC.
Well, I mean, it was the crappiest world. We knew that. We knew that was going to happen. We knew it as soon as we knew what the...
Oh. Narude, more like the worst. Oh, got him.
Oh.
Is there any games coming up that you're interested in?
So I'm interested to see Night Rain. I didn't
Yes.
play. I didn't play Elden Ring just because open world doesn't. My brain just doesn't like open worlds for the most part. Um, but I'm interested in seeing how like a true multiplayer uh, Elden Ring plays. I think we'll have a good time with that one. Because I am a big fan of the Souls games.
In a mysterious project that will not be announced here. That'll be really good. And the good thing about like you, because it should be kind of open world, and if you're with me, kind of driving it along, as long as you kind of let me lead a bit.
Yeah.
Like I'll keep us in check.
Yeah. Like I would always be interested in like trying the seamless co-op mods that they have for Elden Ring, but yeah. I am interested in I think the PC version of Stellar Blade will be
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up.
fun. And then the other one that I have, pretty sure it's out of its full release now. I have it, just haven't gotten around to playing it yet. Is Enter Mongolia.
Okay.
So it is a sequel to another indie Metroidvania called Ender Lilies.
Okay, you've mentioned Ender Lilies to me before.
Yeah, so it's a sequel to that, and it's just such a great art style, great music. I think the combat mechanic is unique. It's like you're not fighting; you have spirits that are fighting for you. I mean, it's still just your attacks, but it adds a interesting take on it.
Spirits, monsters,
Yeah, it's
dogs, chickens.
I don't know when I played Ender Lilies, it's like, oh, it's just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which is a terrible anime. I don't care what people say.
The art style
but
is sick.
yes, but it's you have your stands fighting for you. um, the art style is sick, but I cannot stand JoJo's.
No, I
tried.
could never. I did. Yeah, I didn't try especially. You know what I'm. You know what I'm sad about.
What are we sad about?
I'm sad that I haven't been greeted by a new season of Trigun.
Oh, that's out soon, I think.
Yeah, but I think they're only doing 2 seasons. They're not doing 3, which I think it well deserves. I've been sitting here vibing for Demon Slayer 3, and that's not coming out as a season.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a million years before the next season of Bleach, and I'm sad about it. Because it's going to be so good.
Yes. I feel like My Hero is also like on a bit of a hiatus.
I haven't gone to My Hero yet. Fire Force looks kind of cool.
Yeah. I've heard good things about that one.
I'm not like super weeb, so I was far more entertained by that like witch company anime that I was watching when I was there last that I probably should have been. It was so funny. We would sit down and I'm like, "Here, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Put on the witch anime."
The Magiluminaire is what that one was called.
Maybe.
There were so many magical girl animes that season. I think and they were all different and unique.
So weird.
This current anime season has been lackluster. It's like I am glad I have Kenshin.
I
and
probably
solo leveling.
I should start watching the Kenshin. I never actually got super into Kenshin. Like I dig so much about it, but mostly just the AMVs.
Well, you read it too, right?
Yes, twice.
Yeah. So I think that makes a difference. But I mean,
I think the anime is better. But I was reading poor scans of it.
I know the live action's been fantastic as well.
Oh, the first live action movie though was bad,
Yes, they put too much into it,
but
but they
I heard
learned for
after
the
that.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, they learned for the others. Um, Basically, in the first live action one, they literally put the entire first season arc
Hmm.
into the movie, whereas the the second and third movies is like the Shishio Kyoto arc
Hmm.
split into a couple of movies, so
Okay.
um, it's got better pacing. Um,
Well,
and
that's
that's where it's at now. Is the Kyoto is where they're at in this.
well. I think that's the right choice, and I think I appreciate what they're going to be doing with Demon Slayer, with
Mhm.
the making the Infinity Castle thing like a movie or a couple movies.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of big fights. We're gonna like. I haven't read it. I've been specifically not reading it because the animation in Demon Slayer is just so good. Uh,
so good.
uh, but there's gonna be a bunch of 1v1s of like Hashira's v like demons.
Mm,
So it's not gonna be like our noob team. It's gonna be like the Hashira's versus like demon number 3 or whatever,
yeah.
and we get to see that. But we get to see my boy Zenitsu.
Mm.
Which is so funny. What was it? I remember having the conversation with you. You're like, I don't really like Zenitsu. He's fine, but he's annoying. And I'm just like, just wait. Just you wait.
Yeah,
Wait for the one scene.
yeah.
And then you see him
So
falling and he opens his eyes and you're like, that's my boy.
yeah, I think the big thing with it, we didn't get quite the development you needed with them, but that's fine. We're gonna see it. It's gonna be badass.
Yeah, his
Um,
development's going to come as a flashback.
yeah,
Because he got his bad news. I think his master died, maybe.
yeah,
And then he left and then he came back and he was like in a different state. So we get
yeah.
to find out where he's at. We probably should
Uh,
save some of this conversation for the binge cast if we're going to do it.
that's true.
Yeah.
I will say this: like I'll leave things like my friend who like basically stopped after like episode 8
Mm.
because of Zenitsu. He's like, I can't do it, and just stopped watching. It's like he finally went back and like even knowing like one of the big spoilers uh that happens, like, oh man, I knew it was gonna happen, and it still had me tearing up. You know what I'm talking about. But that'll be the spoiler cast if we do the spoiler cast. Yeah.
the I'm kind of sad right now because like the Breaker, which has been my primary manhwa for ages.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's known as the Breaker not because our main characters are breaking the the rules or the society surrounding the martial arts community in Korea, but because the writer and artist take so many darn breaks. Uh, but they've been on like they're I feel a third of the way through the final season of comics,
Mm.
and they've been on a break for like 6 or 8 months now. Like this is like berserk level of break going on right now.
I'm looking forward to Windbreaker.
Oh yeah, Windbreaker.
Yeah.
I think yeah,
That's our next season.
Windbreaker is gonna be good, and there's a anime creator that I kind of off and on watch. He's the WeebCommander. Does
Mm.
like a lot of Naruto stuff. Um, and he has Taku's Anonymous.
Yeah.
Um, and he's just convinced that Windbreaker's the gayest anime.
He clearly hasn't watched Blue Lock.
I know for a fact that he's watched Blue Lock, and Blue Lock is by far the gayest anime. The fact that you were watching a yaoi anime and you're like, this is not nearly as gay as my sports anime.
I may have been mentioning that
Your friend.
to Cute Thulu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And she was just like, Nope, that's just all sports anime, and you can tell it's going to be even worse 'cause depending on how many exclamation marks. And she was surprised at how few exclamation marks that Blue Lock.
they're they're reinventing the sports anime meta.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Uh,
Yeah, I
the other one that I'm go ahead.
oh no, it's all you.
All right. The other anime that I am super excited for, I did just recently go and see the theatrical opening for it, is the new Gundam Q Quacks.
That is
It is Ano and one of the writers of Utena.
okay. It could be good.
Yeah. Honestly, so watch the movie, which is going to be like an OVA for the first like 3 or 4 episodes. It it looks good. It is really interesting to watch Gundams move like Evas. It's a very different dynamic for the fights.
You know what? I feel like Gundam series are better when they are more gay. If you think
I mean,
the two
Hero.
male pilots are going to kiss, it's just going to do better as a series. I was not a Wings fan, Gundam Wing or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was slow and it was clunky and I was not interested at all. Of course, I was also someone with a very low attention span at the time for reasons. But yeah, I think the biggest Gundams are the ones where you think the two male protags are going to kiss. So, like, hearing that Utena writer is on this, that might actually bode very well.
Yeah.
Why
I
is,
mean,
why is
Ano's
anime so
always
much better when it's gay?
uh,
Like, you're watching X 1999. Okay, take this out. You're
yeah.
you're watching X 1999.
Yeah.
And there's the two guys, and they have like there's the girl that's there as well. And she's like the damsel in distress, like the entire movie or whatever. But at no point do you think, hey, is one of these boys gonna kiss that girl?
Nope.
In fact, if you're thinking about smooching, you're considering like, hey, when is one of these guys gonna kiss the other guy?
It's either that or their brother and sister. Look at you, Angel Sanctuary.
Angel Sanctuary is the best comic that's ever released.
It is so good.
It is so girl. It is so good. I know a girl who learned Japanese just so she could read it in the original language.
All right. Beep. Nah, I mean, I get that. I've been wanting to.
Considering you have the entire collection of Angel Sanctuary behind you.
I sure do. And X99.
And you paid $0 for
it? That is true.
Wait a minute. How did you get those?
I don't know. Some guy decided to up and ditch me.
It was time. I mean, in hindsight, I came back a much better person than when I left.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
You just have to be betrayed by one of your best friends and have to claw yourself up from the pits of despair in an effort of survival. That's all you need to do to become a better person. It's easy, guys.
Yeah.
Just do it. How do I go from being high strung to like the chillest dude anyone's met?
Yeah.
Anyway, um, I guess with that, that kind of just brings me to the end of it. Did kind of yammer on about a bunch of extra stuff, but that is fine because this is the year in review, and we talked about the previous year and some stuff that we're looking forward to. Um, with that, this has been Beardy and the Beast year in review. I'm doing an outro, which has not been on our cast for like 2 years. If you enjoy what we do, share us with a friend, like, subscribe, or join the conversation in the comments below. If you're interested in anything else we've produced, check out beardyandthebeast.com for a full list of services we're available on. Fiend.
Fiend.